A very good afternoon to one and all present.
Good afternoon, Nisha ji.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Nisha ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we know, today we are going to have the training for the Canada, product training for the Canada visa process and the application process. So today, before there's some issue related to the credit card and the CVV problem. So for that, we have Ms. Nidhi Sharma along with us. I would like her to address the query before we start off with the training. Nidhi ji.
All right, thank you. You'll have to give me just 1 second. All right, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
All right, thank you, Anija, and good afternoon, everyone. We were just talking day before session Australia. There were discussions regarding what if the student may not have the credit card or definitely would not want to share his CVV number. So we've been encountering such issues for long now, and especially we understand that definitely a lot of students have apprehensions, a lot of families have apprehensions, and more than that, I think we as counselors, we also do not want to get into all those things. So the solution we could get was one, students can go to any of their banks and get a Forex card made. So the Forex card would be issued either at the student's name. Generally, they ask you the reason. So the student tells that I have to apply to a foreign university or have applied to a foreign university and now I need the card for paying maybe the visa fee. So based on the passports and other credentials, what the banks will ask, they will issue you some sort of a card, which is actually a debit card. You need to preload it. Student and his parents, that is the first family only can deposit money. So that is to just increase one, the safety of the card, and two, definitely to decrease the kind of money laundering, etc. Only the first family can deposit the money. So it is very, very safe. Like any other credit or debit card, if the card is stolen or lost, you can just simply get it closed from where you got it opened, and everything is just the mails away. I'll give you an example. For example, Axis Bank has a relationship with EBIX. So anyone, even if you don't have an Axis Bank account, you can get the card made from EBIX. They issue you a card, also give you the login credentials via app. So I have a card and I can actually control it over an app. I don't really have to ever go to bank for doing that. So they give me transaction charges, they give me if I need to upload it further. For example, today I uploaded it with $50, but tomorrow I need a $500 payment. So I can actually request in any currency, but from the home country where the card is made. Card can be used anywhere across the world. So I have a copy of the card given to my daughter who's in US and she uses it there. So the money, I and her dad, we can deposit here in India. So that's very easy. You deposit the money in Indian currency, the students can avail the same in dollars. So that is the first, solution we could find for past many years, and that has suited to a lot of students. The second definitely is if you don't want to share the card, which we very well respect, we can share any desk, and I'm sure Naz on the other day did talk about that. So I understand it is our system and the student is sharing our screen, but then you have to trust, and we don't mind. Wherever possible, we will give you the links to make the payments directly so that there is no third party involved at all. It only happens in some universities, and of course, Australia visa fee from where this issue actually cropped up. That is the only way forward as per today. So either they arrange a card or they get it made from any nationalized bank here in India, or maybe use any desk for now. Believe me, we are equally conscious for not having anybody's cards misused also. Any other questions if you may have, I will try and answer to the best of my capacity. Please. I think I heard a lot of you had a lot of questions, and believe me, we do get such queries often. Can I help for any other questions?
Any further questions related to the credit card CVV number sharing?
मतलब पहला, या तो आप कार्ड अरेंज कर लें, दूसरा आप कार्ड बनवा लें फॉरेक्स कार्ड, और तीसरा प्लीज एनी डेस्क का इस्तेमाल करें, because that's the very good solution. And tell your students, I mean, thousands of cards with us, but then no one ever has complained anything, and that's very like a common practice, I would say. But then I understand. I am from Delhi. Delhi has little lesser of this problem. Mumbai, West India, they have more of these, issues, obviously. That's
Thank you
okay,
very much,
Nirjana.
Nidhi.
Anji. So I think we can go ahead with Sumitji's presentation for today. I'll be here on hold, and then anytime needed for Canada as well. And there, all right.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We will ping you if you require. Over to Subhaji. Subhaji, we can start off with the trip
Yeah,
to
thank you
Canada.
very much. Just give me 1 second. I want to share the screen.
No issues, sir.
Neerja ji, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Also,
Yes, perfect. Perfect.
It's going forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Good. Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Canada Product Training. So after this, as in Australia, we will have admissions and visa, and post that we would love to have the questions from all these three presentations, so we can take the questions, common questions for all the three presentations by the end of all the three sessions. Thank you. Okay, so for Canada, these are the topics we would like to cover today, and then setting my screen. So we'll be talking about Canada, why Canada is a popular destination for students from India, part-time work rights, like while working, how much am I allowed to work while studying, sorry. Distance and time difference from India, various cities of Canada, and also within Canada from Toronto to various cities within Canada, just to get an idea. Popular study destinations within Canada, Canadian education system, how it looks like, and post-study work visa after studies, how long am I allowed to stay and work in Canada. So that's how the map of Canada looks like, So we have 10 provinces and 3 territories in Canada, and they extend from Atlantic to the Pacific and northward into the Arctic Ocean, and covering 9.98 million square kilometers, and also making it the world's second largest country by total land area, just second to Russia. So that's how big a country is, the land base. Also, it shares border with the United States in south and the western, and that's stretches to 8891 kilometers, and that also makes it world's longest binational land border. The capital of Canada is Ottawa, and the three largest metropolitan areas are Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. So that's how Canada, the location of Canada in the world map. And, so current Prime Minister, Mr. Justin Trudeau, he's serving as 24th Prime Minister of Canada, and he's there since 2015. He is the youngest, second youngest Canadian Prime Minister after Joe Clark. The currency of Canada is Canadian dollar. The rate as on today is 58.6 INR to 1 Canadian dollar, though it goes down to sometimes 55 and up to 59, 59.5. But that's how the current today's rate is 58.6 INR to 1 Canadian dollar. And the national language is English and French. Population, we've seen it's a huge land base. It's approximately 3 times the size of our country, India, with the population under 4 crores as compared to 135 crores we have in India. So the population density in Canada is just 4% per square kilometer, and which is 382 in India. So just to give you an idea, and that is the reason that they invite students, PRs, and the skilled people over there, because they have a huge shortage of skilled people in Canada. The capital of Canada is Ottawa. Toronto, Vancouver, and also I would like to add Montreal are the popular cities and also popular student destinations, student cities. National animal is beaver. So these are the seasons of Canada. You know, it's a cold country. So summers are June to August. Autumn is September to November. Now, September is also called as the fall. And one of the major intakes in Canada is September. That is when almost all the programs are open in all the institutes, universities, colleges. Winters, very harsh, goes up to -40, -50. That's from December to February. And the spring is March to May. So it's a huge country, and it has 6 time zones within the country. Now, why students love going to Canada? These are the few points I could gather. We know it's, we've already talked about being the second largest country by land area. Also, it enjoys.
अपनी साफ वाफ कर लो, अभी शायद फिटनेस हुई नहीं है उसकी गाड़ी.
I will request everybody to keep their mics on mute. Mics on mute, please. Thank you. It enjoys a very high visa success rate, and particularly our company, we have enjoyed 95 to 98% visa success rate. We've been doing Canada visas for the last 22 years, and it's hugely popular here, at least in the northern part of the country, and also in India in general. Part-time jobs are available. So as a student, like most of the countries, they have it. So is Canada. So as a student, I'm allowed to work 20 hours per week when my classes are in session, and full-time, which is 40 hours per week when my classes are not in session, right? So it could be when there's a 15 days break between 2 semesters, or when there is a semester off. So in a year, there are generally 3 semesters, 2 are study, 1 is off, and in the off semester, I can work full-time, or I can just, enjoy the different areas of Canada and go as a tourist. So it's all up to me what I would like to do. If students study in regional area, he will get PR easily. Some areas are hugely popular and populated, but government wants to have the equal population growth, and in order to achieve that, they promote regional areas. It could be in the form of giving more weightage for PR, more points for PR, motivating international students to select those areas as their study destination. To give you a few examples, Manitoba. So here, if you do a student as a bachelor degree, though he gets up to 3 years of post-study work visa, but immediately after doing bachelor, he can apply for a PR and he gets one, right? So that's a fast track. Similarly, in NFL, Newfoundland and Labrador, if you study for 1 year, you get 1 year of work visa and you become eligible for PR. This may not be the case in Toronto or Vancouver, where you would struggle with this kind of a profile, but in NFL, you get PR, so they want to promote it. Similarly, in Quebec, if you know French, that helps you to get PR, you know. So in regional areas, government, they formulated PNPs, provincial nomination programs, to encourage skilled people or the students to go study there, work there, and get PR easily. Post-study work visa up to 3 years for the students who complete at least 2 academic year of degree. So in Canada, you know, after 12th, when I go there, I study for 2 years, I get a diploma. Then you have an advanced diploma option, 3 years duration, and you have a bachelor degree, 4 year in duration. After bachelor's, you have postgraduate diploma of 1 year and 2 years. So of all these variations, if I study for 1 year, that happens in case of post PG diploma. So if I study for 1 year, I get a 1 year post-study work visa. If I study for 2 years, I get up to 3 years of post-study work visa. If I study for 3 years, again up to 3 years. And if I study for 4 years, so again up to 3 years, right? So that's how it works. And so that's how I can avail post-study work visa. IELTS, acceptable. I would say rather it should be the preferred mode of English examination here. PT, TOEFL, as other countries, are also acceptable in Canada. But in Canada, there are two systems, SDS and non-SDS, which my visa team, you know, they would cover more in detail. But just to give you an idea here, in reference to IELTS, so SDS, so these are from the visa point of view, for CIC, for the High Commission, student direct stream. So SDS means you pay 1 year of tuition fee, 1 year of your living GIC, and you should have 6 each IELTS score. Then you fall under SDS. You get your visa decisions quickly and also a very good success rate. So in the current scenario, when there is a huge backlog for Canada, so many files, so one estimate says more than 3 lakh files as student visa files are there. So currently the SDS category with the IELTS 6 each enjoys a very good visa success, 95 to 98, but non-SDS, is struggling. So we encourage students to give IELTS in case of Canada. And as most of you know, it happens every week. You need a passport and 15,000 is the fee to appear in one exam. You can give n number of examinations and you can use your best score, which is valid for 2 years. Relatively cold climate, we know it's very, very cold, and some areas are particularly very cold. One exception could be British Columbia, which enjoys a nice weather, very popular tourist destination as well. But most of the other parts of Canada are very, very cold, especially in some months. Safe learning environment. Now, Canada, as we know, is considered one of the safest destinations in the world. Crime rates are low, police are trusted, easy to contact, and they are quick to respond. So it ranks 6th on the Global Peace Index 2018, and it is undoubtedly one of the safest countries to live and to study. It's one of the most multicultural countries in the world. In any institute, when a student goes, he would find that there are, students from more than 90 different countries already studying there. So it's quite multicultural. So country comparison. So today we talk about Canada. It's quite economical. So most of the colleges, they are public colleges, they are called community colleges. So the fees is 8 to 10 lakhs for a year, which we have to pay the whole of the year together to come under SPS category. However, if I have to go in the premium universities, for example, University of British Columbia, University of Toronto, McGill universities, the fee could be up to $55,000 or $60,000 per annum, whereas in college it would be $16,000 to $18,000, right? So it could be 3 times as in a normal community college or a public college. But it's so most of the students, as per our experience, they go to community colleges and enjoy the same part-time work rights, post-study work rights, and also the PR, especially if they go to the regional areas. Program duration, as we have discussed, so 1 year in case of post-graduate diplomas, 1 to 2 years, and in case of UG diplomas, 2 years, 3 years, a diploma or advanced diploma as they are called, and 4 years in case of bachelor degrees. English proficiency test, it's mandate, we have to give it, and IELTS is a preferred English proficiency test. Visa approval rate, it enjoys a very good visa approval rate. Spouse visa, so yes, once you got the visa, your spouse can also apply for it. Open work permit also it is called, and again the visa success is good. So let's see how the education system in Canada goes. So after 12th class, there are a couple of ways to go to the bachelor's in Canada. So after 12th, a student can go for associate degree. It's a 2-year degree, and then either finishing the studies, take exit from there, or else the progress to bachelor's, study maybe 2 more years and you get your bachelor's, or else you can go through a diploma pathway, a diploma of 2 years, 3 years, and then you can further go to bachelor's degree, and then to master's and to the doctoral if that is your choice. Or else you can directly go for bachelor's also, though the entry requirement for direct bachelor's would be a bit higher than a diploma or associate degree, and they are clearly mentioned on the institute's website. So various types of institutes, we have colleges, universities, which are both public and private, and then there are research-based universities. Though most of the institutes or say colleges, universities are public, but there are a few private as well. So just to name few, for example, in British Columbia, it is FDU, Fairleigh Dickinson University. It's American university with a campus in Vancouver. Northeastern University in BC, Yorkville University with a campus in Toronto and Vancouver, Columbia University, Columbia College, Quitlam College, University of Canada West, private university in Vancouver, with the popular programs, Alexander College, Arbutus College, like that. So the public colleges are more preferred because they are better reputed, they are more old, many generations have studied from there, and they have got more choice of majors, better infrastructure. So, that's more preferred. But then, yes, a lot of students go to the private colleges as well. Research-based universities. Some of the research-based universities to name would be University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, University of Montreal, McGill University, Alberta, Calgary University. So research university is a university that is committed to research as a central part of its mission. Award most doctoral degrees, receive high levels of federal research dollars. So the various intakes in Canada, traditionally there have been 3 intakes. September is or the fall, as it is called, is the major intake in Canada when all the programs at all the institutes are open. Followed by January, where you would say approximately 70% are open, and May, where maybe 40%, 30% are open, mostly business IT, but not the technical programs like engineering. So these have been the three traditional intakes. But now with the more institutes and particularly private institutes also coming in, we also have April and July or October intake in the institutes, which is good for the students because it gives them a lot of options. But they are not, far apart. So just after a couple of months, you have another intake. And so depending upon when you graduate, when you have your the mark sheet, 12th or the graduate and IELTS mark sheet in hand, because most of the institutes would give you, can apply when you have the documents in your hand. So depending upon that, you can apply, and also depending upon the program availability, because the programs, they close fast in Canada. Sometimes, 6 to 8 months in advance they close, and that's how you have to apply as per the availability. Pathway progress. So diploma. So if you've done so either you, as we discussed earlier, you can enter directly into a bachelor degree, or if you are not able to meet the requirements, first year diploma, you can enter into a diploma with the comparatively less academic IELTS English requirements, and then progress to second year of bachelor degree and graduate from it. Similarly, 3-4 year of bachelor course. After that, you can enter into a master or a graduate diploma as per your choice and the eligibility requirements. And a graduate diploma can give you a pathway progress to a master degree, and then further to the research or the PhD or the doctoral as your choices. Just to give, this is all for your reference purpose. So pathway providers, we talked about them in US and then in Australia. Similarly, in Canada also, there are few pathway providers. Navitas Group, it has 4 institutes: ICM, FIC, RUIC, and WLIC. So if I'm not able to meet the requirements of these prestigious universities, then I go through their pathway, first year into the college and then second year into the university. So they are in the same premises, same infrastructure, same faculty, same library, everything same. It is just, the first year is, lesser number of students, so that, to help them prepare better to enter into the second year of the university. So the 4 are FIC, Fraser International College, leading to Simon Fraser University. And then we have International ICM, International College of Manitoba, leading to University of Manitoba. And then Ryerson University International College, leading to Ryerson University, and Wilfrid Laurier International College, leading to Wilfrid Laurier University. Similarly, Educo is again a pathway provider. We have Ascenda School of Management, and we have Arbutus College. And York University in Toronto and RRU, Royal Roads in BC, are another pathway providers in Canada. So just to get about, a brief idea about the popular institutions in Canada. So in Ontario, these are some of the popular colleges. Most of them are, these are public colleges or community colleges as they are popularly called. Sheridan College, a very popular college. It has 3 campuses in Ontario City. It has Brampton campus, Mississauga, Oakville, and it has more than 21,000 students. And it's amongst the top colleges in the province of Ontario. It's a publicly funded community college. Humber, another popular college in Toronto. Again, it has 3 campuses. Also, it offers bachelor degrees, diplomas, PG certificates, or the diplomas. Some colleges call them as PG certificates, some PG diplomas or graduate certificates, and they offer them in more than 180 programs. The Humber College. Seneca, another popular college. It is again look at multiple campuses located in Greater Toronto area. Conestoga College. It is based in Kitchener, which is approximately 1 hour 15 minutes from the Kitchener city from Toronto, and the nearest airport is the Toronto Airport. Niagara College, we know one of the wonders of the world, Niagara Falls. That is where this college is located, approximately 2 hours from Toronto. Lakehead University, it's a public research university. It's in Thunder Bay, which is approximately 1400 kilometers from Toronto. It has got another campus in Aurelia, nearer to Toronto, 150 kilometers. So why I'm giving reference of Toronto, because most of the students that come to us may not be aware of Aurelia or Welland or Thunder Bay, but of Toronto. So reference from Toronto helps them understand better. As we have, the international population, as we give them reference from Delhi to Moga or Jalandhar, they would be able to understand better. So hence, I'm making more use of the term Toronto. Uni of Ottawa, it's a bilingual public research university in Ottawa, and it is also home to the largest law school in the country. Waterloo is a very prestigious university. To get admissions here is also hard, both for domestic as well as international students. And it has got a huge campus, 1,000 acres. British Columbia, these are the popular institutes. Langara, it's in Vancouver, 155 is the application fees to apply. And you get offers in 4 to 6 weeks. Columbia College, it's an independent, not-for-profit 2-year university transfer college. You study 2 years here and then either you make an exit or transfer to a university, whether within the British Columbia or to any province outside it. University of British Columbia, again, a premier university amongst the top universities in the world and also amongst the top 3 in Canada. It's a public research university, and it ranks amongst the top 3 in Canada, as I've mentioned. Simon Fraser University, then you've got Thompson River University, it's in Kamloops, approximately 4 hours from Vancouver. University of Canada West, it's a private university with some popular programs and is quite popular with the students. So this is one university which accepts 15 years of education to get admission into MBA. Otherwise, in Canada, it follows more of US, where you need 16 years of education, 12 plus 4, which is a 4-year of degree, to be able to get eligible to apply for a master program, or else 3 years bachelor plus 2-year master. So 5 years, you can apply to a master's, or 12 plus 4 years, like in engineering degrees in India, you become eligible to apply for master's. So 12 plus 4, 16 years of education. But this university accepts 15 years of education for its MBA program. So that is one of the reasons it is popular, because in India we have BCom, BBA of 3 years. So hence students, they go here for doing their Master of Business Administration. Alberta, Bow Valley College, it's a public college again. Red Deer College, it's again almost 150 kilometers from Calgary. Northwest College, it's a public college in Edmonton. McEwan University is a public undergraduate university in Edmonton, Alberta. Uni of Alberta, again a premier university. It's amongst the top universities in Canada and also top 150 in the world. It's a major economic driver in Alberta province. Its impact on the Alberta economy is an estimated $12 billion annually, or approximately 5% of the province GDP. Manitoba, we have ICM. We just talked in the earlier slide. It's a pathway to Uni of Manitoba, mentioned below. Uni of Winnipeg, not mentioned here. Again, a good university. It's got some popular postgraduate programs where students, they prefer to go. Red River College, it's again a very popular college. It has got 400 application fee, and if you get admission, 300 is applied towards your tuition fees. MITT, as it is popularly called, Manitoba Institute of Trade and Technology. Quebec has got some of more private colleges, CDI, M College, CJEP, Matrix, Herzing, McGill University. So McGill is again a very, very prestigious university, very hard to get in. And it is one of the two universities outside the United States which are members of the Association of American Universities, alongside the University of Toronto in Canada. And it is the only Canadian member of the Global University Leaders Forum Gulf within the World Economic Forum. Saskatchewan, again, Campion College, Parkland, St. Thomas, Saskatchewan, Polytechnic, Uni of Regina, it's a public research university in Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada, and it is also amongst the top 20 in Canada. Popular courses, business MBA, again, a lot of majors to choose from. Golf management, golf is very, very popular there. So golf management is one, event management, marketing, HR, hospitality, tourism. So it is up to the student, project management, to choose business management, general business, international business, global business management. So a lot of options or majors to choose from. Information technology, again, networking or cybersecurity or artificial intelligence, software, all up to the student's choice, where his interest is. He can go through the contents on the website and go for it. Engineering, again, it has got the majors as are popular elsewhere. It could be mechanical, computer, electronics, electrical, mechatronics. So all those majors are available to choose. Though not all the colleges would have all the majors, but yes, all those are available in various other different colleges. Nursing, a very, very popular program again, but in the public health. But in Canada, as a bit different from Australia, the health programs would require maths as a mandatory subject. So in India, we after 10th class students in science would either have maths or bio. Very few of them would have both the subjects. Hence, few of the students from India, they become eligible for nursing. So they need to have maths for it. So without maths also, bio students have got programs available. But if they want to go for the strong popular programs, maths is required by most or almost all of the universities. So every country has something different than others. So distance and time difference from India to Canada, approximately by flight we see it's 12,000 kilometers. If it's a direct flight, it's a 14 hours, or if there is a connecting flight, it can take up to 20 hours, 21 hours, depending upon what is the connecting link. But mostly it is a 14 hours flight available, and Vancouver and Toronto are the major destinations. So we have the direct flights available with Air India or Air Canada going to these destinations. Distance and time distance and time difference within Canada from Toronto. We can see nearest is Ottawa. It is approximately 450 kilometers, and by car is approximately 4 hours. Quebec is a bit far, and that's how we go the province wise. The next province, you got Winnipeg, and then Regina is a bit more far, and the farthest is Vancouver, because Toronto and Vancouver, or Ottawa and Vancouver, are the two distant parts of Canada. Indian food, very very much available in Canada. So veg, non-veg, even North Indian, South Indian. So as we all know, a lot of Indian community people in Canada. Hence, good food, reasonable, decently priced, is available. Or else you can try various other cuisines. A lot of other food from other nationalities or the countries are also available. And also you can buy groceries, fresh groceries at a reasonable rate, and you can cook if that is what you want, or if that is what you know. part-time work rights. So international students are allowed to work part-time as in most of the countries. So it is in Canada, 20 hours per week, as we mentioned earlier in one of the slides, when my classes are in session. But when my classes are not in session, I can work 40 hours per week. Generally, I get $13 to $15 per hour. I can get more when it is a weekend or when it is their holidays, for example, Christmas, New Year, when the local population wants to enjoy it. But the Indian students, they love to work, they get, sometimes paid double also. So they enjoyed working those days. So it is available to all the students, whether they are studying in any stream. So by working part-time in the when my classes are in session or the full time, students are generally able to manage their living expenses, which is approximately 10,000 per annum in Canada, as per the government. And also, as I go further down my course, second year, third year, students, most of them, if not all, are able to manage their tuition fee also. Not most of them, all of them, but still many of them are able to manage. So that's the feedback we receive when we talk with our students. So that's a possibility. Post-study work visa, we've already talked about it, but just to mention here as the slide has come. So 1 year of study gives me 1 year of work permit, but 2 years give me up 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, that gives me up to 3 years of post-study work visa. And then I apply for PR, and PR is comparatively easy in Canada than in other countries. So this is another reason why Canada is very, very popular, because of comparatively easy PR happening in Canada. Okay, so we are done. Yeah, so we've covered about Canada, most of the things, but still, if you feel anything is left, it may be covered, I'm sure, in the next two presentations talking about admissions and visa, and by the end of the 3 presentations. So please feel free to ask questions. We all would be available. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Neerja ji.
Sumitji. Thank you very much,
Very much.
Sumitji.
Thank you.
Now we will have Ms. Manisha Bhati. Manisha will talk about the application process in Canada.
Okay.
Over to you, Manisha.
Thank you so much, Nirja. Very good afternoon, everyone. I am Manisha, and today I will be training you on Canada admission process. So let me open the screen. 1 second. Let me share the screen. Nirja, is my screen visible to you?
Yes, it's
Okay.
visible.
Okay. So today we will cover intakes of Canada, entry requirements, difference between 15 years and 16 years of education, types of English proficiency
Your
test.
slide is not visible. Your screen is visible, Manisha, but not the slides.
Wait 1 second.
Yeah.
Is it visible now?
No, not to me.
Please check. Is it visible now?
No, it's not visible.
No.
It's stuck
Okay.
on that screen.
Okay. Let me reshare.
It's
Are you
visible now.
okay?
It's visible now.
So can you see the second page of my slide?
Yes. Yes.
Great. Okay. Okay. So today we will cover intakes of Canada, entry requirements, difference between 15 years and 16 years of education, types of English proficiency test, application and admission process. So if we talk about the intakes in Canada, September intake is the major intake. Almost 100% of the programs are available in this intake. Whereas when it comes to Jan, April, May or October, almost 70 to 80% programs are available. If we talk about the entry requirements of Canada, the generic entry requirements at undergrad level are, so at undergrad level, the student can either apply for diploma, advanced diploma, or a bachelor degree. So if a student is applying for diploma, then the duration is around 2 years and the percentage is required around 50 to 55%. IELTS is required overall 6 with no band less than 6. If we talk about advanced diploma, the duration is 3 years and the percentage required is 50 to 55%. IELTS required is overall 6 with no band less than 6. For bachelor degree, the duration is 4 years. 60% is the percentage requirement, whereas the IELTS required is around 6.5 with no band less than 6. The generic entry requirements at PG level are, the student can either apply for a graduate certificate or a PG diploma. The duration is 1 to 2 years. The percentage required is around 50 to 55%. The IELTS required is overall 6 with no band less than 6, 6.5 with no band less than 6. For master degree, the duration is 2 years. The percentage required is around 70% and above. The IELTS required is around 6.5 with no band less than 6. So in Canada, so basically universities are concerned about 16 years of education, that the student should have 16 years of education if they are applying to Canadian universities. So let me clear on the difference between 15 years and 16 years of education. If a student is 12th pass plus he has done 3 years of education, let's say after 12th the student has done Bachelor of Arts, which is of 3 years, then it will be considered as 15 years of education. So only few universities in Canada are accepting 15 years of education. That is like Quantum Polytechnic University, Thompson River University, University Canada West, and St. Mary University. Apart from them, all the universities are accepting 16 years of education. So 16 years of education means after 12th, a student has done 4 years of education. Then that will be considered as 16 years of education. So majority of the universities accept 16 years of education in Canada. But we do have three universities which are offering MBA without GMAT. Also for MBA program, GMAT is mandatory to provide for Canadian universities. But if you're applying for Thompson River University and applying for the program MBA, you don't need to provide GMAT. If you're applying for University Canada West, in that case also you don't need to provide GMAT. But if you're applying for University of Northern British Columbia, they do have their own criteria set. For example, I mean to say, they ask that if a student is actually having 3 years of work experience, then they will waive off the GMAT requirement for University of Northern British Columbia. For Lakehead University, if a student is having 3 years of work experience and 16 years of education, then they will waive off the GMAT condition for the MBA program. So if we talk about the types of English proficiency test acceptable by Canada, that are IELTS, PT, and TOEFL, the validity of all these tests are 2 years. IELTS is on a scale of 9, PT is on a scale of 90, and TOEFL is on a scale of 120. The duration of test of IELTS is around 2 hours 45 minutes, PT is around 3 hours, and TOEFL is around 4 hours 30 minutes. So I have attached the sample of English proficiency test. On the left hand side is IELTS, in the middle it's PT, and on the right it's TOEFL. So if we talk about the application assessment factors for Canada, first is eligibility. we do look after the academics and English proficiency of the student to check the eligibility of that particular student for the desired course, relevancy of course applied, educational background or change of stream. If it is there, then we need to check whether it is relevant to the
Hello,
I think there's no audio.
Manisha, you are not audible. Hello. Manisha.
Ma'am, we can't hear you, ma'am.
This is Nirja. Am I audible? Audible to everybody?
Yeah, you are audible.
Just wait for a moment. There's some technical issue. We will just check and get back to you.
I am so sorry. I have just reconnected. Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, Manisha, it's visible.
Great. All right. So we were talking about the application assessment factors. If we talk about eligibility, so we do check the eligibility on the basis of academics and English proficiency. Relevancy of course applied is checked on the basis of educational background and change of stream. Gap in studies. So 3 to 4 months of gap is acceptable, but if a student is having 6 months plus gap, then we need the documentary proof or SOP regarding the same. And regarding work experience, if a student is having any work experience, then please provide us documents for the same. If we talk about the process flow, once the university has been finalized, please add that application form along with the original scanned documents on CRM. So for an undergrad application, the documents required for Canadian institutes are completely filled application form, application fees wherever applicable, we need the credit card details for the same, 10th, 12th mark sheets and passing certificate, English proficiency result and passport copy. For a PG application, for a post-grad application, we need documents, completely filled application form, application fee wherever applicable, we need credit card details for the same, bachelor degree mark sheets and bachelor degree passing certificate, backlog certificate if any, 10th, 12th mark sheet, passing certificate, English proficiency result, resume, work experience document if applicable, and passport copy. So the main supporting documents which are required if a student is applying for Canadian university are SOP, CV, and 2 to 3 LORs. So you need to assign the application on CRM. It will be great if you will upload all the documents in one PDF only. And if everything looks fine, we will process your application within our turnaround time, that is 48 hours. Application process, once we will process the application, a student can either get an offer letter or an outcome issued by the university within their turnaround time. By this, I mean to say, for example, A university can take 2 days to issue an offer, whereas B university can take almost about 2 weeks. So the student can get a conditional letter of acceptance, unconditional letter of acceptance, or a rejection letter. So once a student meets all the conditions, then unconditional LOA will be issued. So LOA is the short form of letter of acceptance. After that, the student can proceed further with the tuition fee payment. So once the tuition fees has been paid by the student, kindly share the telegraphic transfer receipt and signed acceptance with us so that we can request for fee receipt from the institute. And after receiving the fee receipt from the institute, you need to share the visa file with our visa team for assessment so that they can lodge the visa file on students' behalf. So I have also attached some samples of complete application form and incomplete application form. So basically on the left hand side, it's a completely filled application form. So if you will provide us completely filled application form, then it will not lead to delay in any kind of application process. But if you will provide us incomplete application form, let's say you haven't mentioned the email ID of the student, or let's say phone number or the program name and intake, then it will definitely lead to delay in application process from our end. So if we talk about backlogs, so in Canada, some universities accept around 6 backlogs. I mean, some institutes accept around 6 backlogs, whereas some only accept around 11. So backlog is used to refer to the number of failed courses that haven't yet been cleared. And backlog certificate looks like this. On the right hand side, I have also attached a sample of backlog certificate. So that is basically a kind of sheet issued by your academic institution that has details about your backlogs. So I have also attached sample of conditional letter of acceptance, which is LOA, on the left hand side. So on the left hand side, the LOA is conditional. It means there must be some conditions which are pending. For example, over here they have asked to provide IELTS of the student and acceptance. And on the right hand side, once the student provides all the pending documents, then they will get an unconditional LOA like this, which I have attached on the right hand side, which means there will be no condition mentioned on the LOA. Once unconditional offer letter will be issued, then the student can proceed further with the payment. So once the student makes the payment, he goes to the bank and gets that telegraphic transfer done. After that, he will get a receipt. This receipt is known as telegraphic transfer receipt, and the short form is TT receipt. So you need to share this TT receipt with us along with the signed acceptance so that we can request for fee receipt. And once the student pays and we forward the same to the university, then they will issue a fee receipt like this. So basically, it will be mentioned on the fee receipt that this student has paid this much of amount, and this fee receipt is actually used for visa purpose. So that's it from my end. Thank you so much. So now, Naz, I would request you to please continue with the visa training.
Hello, myself Shubhati. I am a assistant visa manager. Today I will be going through the Canadian visa process. So let me share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So-
Shubhadi, it's
Okay.
visible.
So Canada
Shubhadeep,
visa
I'm
process.
so sorry. Deepak here. Can we get a break for 5 minutes, please?
Yeah, definitely. Nitsa, can you put a break on this?
Yeah, you can take a break of 5 minutes and then we can continue further.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening again. This is Shubhadeep. I am assistant manager for visa. So shall we start the training?
Yeah, Shubhadeep.
Okay, today's training is about the visa Canadian visa process. So today's training will be divided into two parts. One will be the fund calculation and the visa and the financials document that will be required for the visa application. So fund calculation. So we always check the current date or current rate of conversion rate at OENDA. We will calculate accordingly on the day when we receive the file or when you assess the file at initial stage. So what all things that we need to calculate? We need to calculate one year tuition fees, living cost, if spouse is traveling, spouse living cost. If they have a child and they also he or she also traveling, then the living cost of the child. And if student has paid anything, then it will be subtract from the all above funds that I have mentioned. At last, what all the funds will be required that need to be either more than the funds that is required or it should be equal to the funds. Visa fees and what all fees is required is visa fees and biometric fees. For student, the visa fees will be 150 Canadian dollar and the biometric charges is 85. So total will be an open work permit is for the dependent visa fees will be 255. So these are the visa checklist. What all document we will be requiring for the visa filing. One is the application visa application form that is by the name. The name is IMM1294E, and this form needs to fill online. Handwritten form is not acceptable because we will be not able to upload that document at the application portal. Only in Canada, we only require the written and the bio page of the passport, either the old or current. If student have three or four passport, we will be requiring all the written and the bio pages. Written pages means the visa stamping pages or visa sticker pages, but that all comes on the written pages. Family information form, that is IMM 5645E. This need to fill online. And the letter of acceptance from the institution that my colleague Manish already told you that letter of acceptance will be received from the university post giving all the payments and all the requirements asked by the university. So as of now, as there is no option for the hard copy submission. So this form is not required. But if required in future, then student need to provide this 5476 IMM form. It is a representative form. English proficiency test is that IELTS, PTE, TOEFL that already been explained by my colleague in previous slides. All academic documents from starting from 10th to the graduation or the 12th, whatever the student had. Payment received that will be received after make the payment of the initial fees that asked by the university. GIC or the financials document. About GIC, I will explain I will explain this in my later slides because it is a guaranteed investment certificate. Here, if some student, for example, students have the recent deposit in their account, so they can purchase the GIC. It's like a saving account, but they don't have to show the source from where they are getting the amount. It can be used for living only. Student information sheet that is made by us because few of the information that will be requiring during the application, online application will not available on the checklist or the document that will provide by the students. Sponsors documents such as sponsorship affidavit format will be shared by us. IDs or income proof at the ITR. IDs, PAN card, Aadhaar card or passport is acceptable. E-medical, that's every students need to proceed with this e-medical process. They need to go to the designated hospital and make the medical checkups before lodging the file. Statement of purpose. Here, statement of purpose is basically student need to give some introduction about him or herself, about then why he or she choose Canada, why particular university, and incentive to return why you want to come back to India post completion of her degree course. So as I told you, GIC is basically to student needs to open the GIC on his or her name, and for that he needs to have any bank account in his or her name in India. He or she will be requiring LOA and photograph and the passport copy. Please be remembered the address mentioned in the passport and address mentioned with the bank should be it should be similar, else there will be an issue in opening the account for the GIC. Minimum amount that needs to be transferred is 10,000. 10,200 to 150 is the service charge that bank will charge. Processing charge bank will charge. The processing of GIC, it will take 15 to 20 working days. And the benefit of GIC, the student will receive 667 plus interest every month for next 12 months. That is for the next 1 year study. So as previously told, there are two categories. One is SDS and one is non-SDS. That is non-SDS will calculate as a general stream. So SDS category, it always be we need to submit the application online. Upfront medical test is required. Student must pay his or her fees in advance, the first year fees. They need to have GIC and IELTS is required. If student have PTE, then they will not come under SDS cases. It will be automatically go to the general. For SDS, student needs to have IELTS, and in all bands they needs to have 6, and overall also 6. If anything is less than 6, it automatically change their category to general. The processing time of SDS is 20 working days minimum. And definitely, as Sumit has told you, that we are getting a maximum grant under this category. Regular process, yes, the opposite of the SDS. If anything is missing from the check, as I explained on my previous slide, it automatically moved to regular process. If student didn't pay his full fees, or he don't have his medical upfront, or he might showing the loan, or he have some savings or FD, then it will only come under SDS category. The processing time is also in the higher side. So what is the total process? How we normally visa team is followed? Once we receive the visa file as per the checklist shared, so we will be assessing the file, and if required, we will verify the fund. If there is GIC, we will not verify. But if other than the GIC, it's like FD or savings or loan, then we will be verifying those accounts. After receiving the pendings, we will reassess the file, and if everything seems good, we will launch the file and wait for the outcome. Here, what we can do, we'll create the application. We will put all the details and upload all the document and share the link and the login credentials with you, so then student can make their own payments. They don't have to share any card or something like that. So that's all from my side. So let's proceed with the Q&A session.
So now I would request, if anybody is having any queries, you can either raise your hands or type your queries in chat box. I think Ms. Sebastian has raised her hand. Ma'am, kindly unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, Ms. Nija. Good evening, everyone. Two queries I have.
Good evening.
Now, you're talking about the English proficiency exam. You're talking about IELTS and PTE and TOEFL. But Duolingo is also an exam which is accepted by 150 universities in Canada. And there are these universities that are listed under you. So why we are not mentioning about Duolingo?
Ms. Mary,
Yeah.
yes, as a particular institute may accept various modes of English examinations, TOEFL, PT, Duolingo, as you mentioned. So any of the exams as accepted by the university can be submitted, no issue. But to come under SDS category, High Commission accepts or recognizes only IELTS. So if under SDS, student should give IELTS, or else Any other mode as accepted by that particular institute is fine. It could be Duolingo, PT, IELTS, TOEFL, or likewise. So that is acceptable. If it is accepted by the university, that's okay.
Okay. Second question. Today in the morning, I read in the news 3 universities closed down in Canada, 3 colleges, in fact. And one of these colleges is listed under Map My Study. So what happens to those students who have gone there?
Do you remember their names or the
Yes,
location?
I already have, and I already checked on your this thing. I will just tell you, it is there in your this thing. I've checked it also. Just a minute, give me 1 minute. The colleges are that is M College. Then it is the college that is under you, that is CDE College, Montreal, Quebec. I can share the
No, that's
also.
fine. That's fine. We know.
Yeah, the 3 colleges,
Yeah,
and almost 2,000 students, that out of which 1,600 are students from India who have paid their fees. They went after the winter vacations, and the college was shut. So now what happens here? Now what happens in such a situation?
yeah.
I don't think you people have read that, because it's come in the news. There are 3
Yes,
colleges. I'll tell you.
yes,
It
yes.
is the
No,
French.
yes, that's fine. Yeah. These are in Quebec. Nidhi, would you like to take that?
Yes, thank you, Sumaji. Miss Mary, that's a good observation, I would say. And I would want to suggest here that last year also similar situation happened in Quebec. And in fact, that time 10 colleges were shut down. And all of these colleges, if you could read the information in detail, have listed their bankruptcy, right? So under the immigration laws, the federal government will take the necessary action. If you're asking that what would we do, so generally speaking, we would want to help those students, but because they had gone maybe last semester or last year, whatever is in our approach we can. So directly, indirectly, sometimes the students who are in such situation will call our team and we will take a necessary action. And what necessary action? Because sometimes in some countries this situation occurs. Pandemic has actually lead this to, sometimes no answers. But then what we generally do is, like in Australia recently, something similar happened last year. So our students got their refund, of course a little late, but then we were talking to the universities and the students, and then most of the students could get it. Yes, it took time. So whatever possible, the government takes an action. We as responsible agencies also are taking actions. Of course we cannot take the ownership and probably compensate the students, because they can be many. And you're right, it is a situation where the colleges actually took advance fee in December, and they must be knowing that they're going to face similar situation, but they still had the students paid. And then just in January they created all this. So I mean, that's a sad story, but that is how it is.
And all these 3 were private colleges, hence students,
Yes.
and we prefer community colleges because they are backed by the government, the infrastructure, the budgets and all those things. So they are very, very safe, and they are for their for a very, very long time now. And hence, as I also mentioned in the slide, community colleges are preferred amongst the students and the consultancy agencies like us.
Thank you, Sumiji, for adding private college. But then, Mary, last year when 10 colleges were shut down, after 6.5 months, all the 10 colleges resumed back. So wait and, look forward to complete story.
Yeah, I'm sorry to sound like a new parent, because putting my hand into something which is new. So
No,
I've
that
been.
is absolutely fine, Mary. If I were you and my child has to go, I would have all these apprehensions, and you're absolutely right. But then, because we've been dealing with such situations, and probably that is the reason we are a little stronger this side. But believe me, this is very, very sad for all of us when something like this happens.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
No problems.
Thank you.
Any further queries we have so that we can answer it? Kindly raise your hands and Ask your query.
This is Deepak here, no? Ma'am, this is Deepak here. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
Deepak. Yes, Deepak. Continue.
Just adding to what Mary said, see, thanks, Nidhi ji, for shedding light on this. Now, my only question was how often you said last the previous year also this happened, and likely this happened this year as well. Probably it's only 3 on the list as of now. Now, how often this as a parent would certainly would be apprehensive, but how often we have to, I mean, as a they would encounter these kind of situations, or how, I mean, like how often this thing would
So,
happen is my question.
I think, Sumit, I will take this question as well.
Okay.
Deepak ji, what happens is you're absolutely right. And that is when we realized last year, Canada, Quebec, 10 colleges shut down. They resumed after 6.5 months. But believe me, this year, my team did not work for promoting those colleges. So what happens is when we have such issues and we see that the issues are cropping up because of some or the other factor, which you all will also realize once you are deeper into this trade, that there are some specific colleges, universities, or locations which definitely are sold because they are cheaper. They give faster offer letters, and then there are a lot of intentions for students other than studies. And Quebec is one region, and all these private colleges, since they existed, they invited students, lesser fee, faster offers, and permanent, kind of post graduation work permit was also there. So all the things were suiting a lot of Indian communities, which I think you and Mary rightly pointed out. But India is a mixed, we have different students with different choices. So our students, those who really want to study, will never choose such colleges. And you would also not find any of my team members talking about these colleges now or in past or in future as well, because these are private colleges and they are as small as one floor of a 4-floor buildings. So I think a lot of other things, that is why we said if you get a list of 2100 colleges and universities with us, you can pick your choice of 100, 200. Somebody comes to us with a mindset that, oh, my brother went to M college or my relative is there across that college and I wish to apply. If I don't apply, he will actually go somewhere else. So I think with us, you can keep those colleges for such matters. And we will always talk about the products which, like, we represent University of New South Wales or Monash or Arizona State. All of these are listed A grade universities.
All right, man. Thank you.
So I
Thank you
cannot
so much
remove
for
I cannot remove a college from my list if someone wishes to go there. But for you, I would definitely agree that we should not pick those colleges wherever we have a shady reputation.
The only apprehensive is because if this keeps happening frequently is when we have to put on our thinking caps and
No, Deepak ji, you're right, and
probably
do
need
look
to
forward to
calm
colleges.
that.
Yeah.
But having all right, man. Thank you.
No, do look for colleges which have a standing reputation. Don't go for easy cakes, no? Those would always have something or the other fishy around themselves.
Certainly, man. Thank you so much.
No problems.
Any further queries we have?
I have one more. May I ask?
Please, go ahead.
And now, Nidhi ma'am, there are around 20 colleges that are blacklisted in Toronto. And out of those 2 colleges, I can see on your list. So why do we have blacklisted colleges on our list?
Mary, I mean, I slightly disagree. Blacklist colleges, matlab, the students, those are private colleges. And
Okay.
the colleges, I think one of them is Evergreen, if I remember it right? Now, that's the college which can actually take students, those who are already onshore and they want to complete one more year of study because they need to stay back for longer time. I cannot remove them from my list, but you would not find my team selling that college because I know some products are there because they are, or they're needed to be there because they were, maybe good for someone who's already there in Canada. You don't generally will get easy visa for them. I mean, I do have schools also in Canada. We've not put them on our list because we know visas nahi aata hai. But for example, Evergreen, or there are some other private smaller colleges, there are always, 50-50 chances that in good times the visas were also coming for those. So believe me, if you want, you can actually take out your list from our list, so that, as I said in the training I was giving, pick 100 colleges of your choice and forget about the rest 2000. You might come across somebody who wishes to go for any other college, and you can pick that college at that time. Pick your 100 stuff, go for listed universities. I know all of us have been, associated with each other, and we want to promote education for the right students. Let's just focus on good universities. The list may have those names, but okay, the blacklisting also keeps happening and keeps erasing. I cannot go back and do that maths, but my team is well aware that we don't need to send students to Evergreen. But then there are those products maybe are needed by somebody who's already in Canada, did his 2 years, but could not get his visa renewed. And because he has to maintain a status, so then that particular college might be a good choice for him, because one, that's costing him less, does not require application stuff, which is long. So I think, please, I very well take that point, but believe me, I'm not defending my team here. I'm just telling that there are some products which I can definitely do not want students to go. But believe me, students come with those choices as well. Later, you would see that they are happy to go to any remotest place because their friends, family, their friends and family has recommended, and then we need to keep our kitty just because of that sometimes.
Perfect. I understand. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any more questions? Here I can see Mr. Kulkarni has raised hand. Mr. Kulkarni, you can unmute yourself and ask your query.
Good evening. Actually, my question means, after hearing such kind of discussion, means study in a foreign country, it is always attracting to the students. But whatever the the participant, like the raise the queries concern about the, like, when we heard that colleges are getting shut down and all those information. So what I will request to all of you means, always showing some good things or highlighted points, like now you presented in all the slides. So we want such kind of critical factors, means this is very important in terms of counseling. Okay, means if such kind of case studies are there, or maybe critical scenarios or critical factors, so that can be addressed during the counseling process, like when we are interacting with the students who really want to go in any country.
Milanji, as I have suggested earlier also, that whenever you are going to counsel the student, the shortlisting of the program we will help you with, because when we give this program, we will provide you the best universities where we have the best outcomes, and it's going to be the best for the student as well as for the advisor. So that's why when we do the shortlisting, in the beginning, when we were having interaction for the advisor program one-to-one, at that moment also we suggest that kindly take the help from the relationship manager for the shortlisting of the program until or unless you are confident enough to do the same on your own. So that these kind of things that Nidhi is saying, that we will be providing, and we will not be giving you the universities where they have a shitty reputation, so will be avoided. Right, sir?
Yeah, because this information is really important in the counseling. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand. That's why the program, the options that will be given to you will be the best possible, and we started depending on the student profile, we give them the best options. If the student is 90+ student, we will give them the topmost universities where he or she can make the best out of it. We will never prefer these kind of universities where we have a knowledge that the background is not up to the mark.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Any further queries we have? Kindly ask if you have any further queries or we will call it a day. I think we come to the end of the session as I cannot see any further raise hands or queries. So thank you, Sumit. Thank you, Nidhi.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manisha and Shubhadeep, for getting connected today and helping us with
Thank you.
training.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.